Hey guys, welcome back to the shop. So just like I do every year, I'm going to start this year with a shop tour. I'll forewarn you, there's not a lot of changes this year. There's changes coming, but there's just not a lot this year. So I'm going to do this shop tour a little differently than I normally do it. And I'm just gonna kind of pan the areas, maybe talk a little less, and let the eagle eyes out there, that's you guys, come ask questions. If you see something that you want to know more about, hit me up in the comments below or on my forums or via email if you want. All that stuff's in the show notes, but let's get on to a shop tour. I'm just going to start in one corner and kind of work my way around the room. Okay, so we're going to start down here in the drill press corner. Obviously my drill station is over here. My drill press is over here. The mini split is over here. A few little hand tools and things on the wall. But yeah, just an old grizzly drill press that is activated on a foot switch, which is really super handy. And my extra drawer glide storage goes over here as well. You notice I have a dust cleanup on the wall. That's hooked to my main dust collector. And the door goes into my wife's quilting room. Moving down this wall is the Laguna 14BX. Absolutely love this saw. And that rolls us right into the clamp wall, which just really has not changed at all this year. If I were going to make changes here, it would be probably for more shorter clamps, but there's not really a whole lot of room left to store them. And next up, of course, is the Jessam router table. That's got the big Porter cable router in it. We did that dust collection this last year, and that's holding up great. And the router bit storage, which I also think we did last year. We may have done that the year before. I don't actually recall now. And then over here, this is my computer station that I have in the shop. I don't currently have it turned on, and I keep a MacBook in there. So if I need to do some quick SketchUp changes, then it's all good to go. Okay, so this is the hand tool corner. This is also where I do a lot of my touch-up sharpening. If I'm using a lot of chisels or hand tools in a particular project, and it really comes in handy. I just set everything up there. The bench-crafted high vise does not get used very often in my shop. I don't know, it may be a future giveaway. Show you the inside of the cabinet. And there you can see where the hand planes and stuff live. Okay, so this is the Woodpeckers Wall. This is where my clock lives as well. Obviously, it's not quite 2023 yet, but I need to get the video done. As well, this is where my drum sander lives, and this is the Supermax 1938 with the custom-built stand that I made for it. And there are free plans for this on the website. And moving down the wall, this is obviously my entrance door, as well as an antique drill press here. And of course the elephant in the room is my lathe is missing. I did move that on. I paid it forward to another woodworker, and hopefully the new one is going to be in this year. I am getting a rather large Laguna in here, which is what I always had in mind when I made this cabinet corner or corner cabinet, which houses all the lathe tools and lathe bits and pieces and stuff. It's not currently organized, but it will be when the new lathe gets in. As well, I have some more sharpening stuff up here. This little Rikon is set up with CBN wheels, and it primarily where I'm sharpening the turning tools. My dad's old grinder is still there, which still doesn't have the buffing pads on it, but it will. And my Tormek lives here. as well as my Rikon disc sander. It's on a mobile cart, so I can move that around and take it anywhere I want. And my horizontal lumber storage is here as well. I like this lumber storage here, and typically I try to only bring in kind of current project stuff, but kind of bulking up for the winter here, so I have a lot more on that than I normally would. Then down into this darker corner is my Clearview Cyclone, and that is all run on Nordfab ducting. See if I can get up here. And that is all on a 7-inch main, which goes pretty much all over the shop and drops at each of the big tools. Moving around this wall is my vertical storage for lumber in the shop. And my preference is the vertical storage. It's just a lot easier to pick through and find. Down to my offcut bin, as well as what I call the DeWalt wall. This is just basically breakdown tools and things of that nature. I do have the power planer up there, jigsaw, skill saw, the little multi-tool, and then of course I put a portaband in there as well, which comes in handy for dealing with stuff like T-track or cutting off a bolt or something of that nature. And the stereo lives up there as well. Now you notice all over the shop, and most of the places that I have a 110 outlet, I also have a 220 outlet. So there's 220 all over the shop. I do have a dedicated 200 amp service to this shop, so power for me is not an issue. And moving down, I do have an 8-foot roll-up door, and then this is pretty much where I store most of my sheet goods and things of that nature. It's also where I store the platens for my vacuum bags. And there's some bags up above it there, along with a Lee D4R. And my small box miter sled lives up there, and a pocket hole jig, which I rarely use. And that rolls us right into the Laguna 18BX, the 18-inch bandsaw. This one's all set up for resawing right now. And on the list this year, these standard ceramic guides are going away, and this is getting upgraded to Carter guides. And making our way around that wall is the start of the miter station. I do have the Rikon hollow chisel mortiser there, the refrigerator, and then of course my CT, which is dedicated to my Festool Capex at the miter saw. And my good dog there, Bella, she just loves anything I give her from the scrap bin. And moving down here, more storage, Festool, my clips on the cupboards for whatever the current project is. It's hard to see there, but I have a build coming up here in the next day or two for my granddaughter, who has requested an extra bookshelf for her room. Well, her parents did. She's not quite old enough yet. And that actually brings us full circle around the outside edge. Okay, so moving up to my assembly table. You guys have seen this all a bit, but I have drawers on this side, and this is my primary work location here, so everything is fairly close. But we'll take a walk around this side to the back. This is where I like to mount that Moxon vise that I did. I think I did that last year. It comes in handy as just for work holding at this location, but it does really well. I have a California Air Tools compressor and a hose reel in there. It is a torsion box top, so it's really flat, and of course the top is replaceable. And the outfeed table for the table saw, there's a bunch of videos on this as well as free plans on the website. But this is still a workhorse in my shop, and I absolutely love it. It does absolutely everything I ever wanted it to. And the spindle sander lifts out on this side. And it is a split top design, so that center track comes out. And I tend to use that a lot as a path for the track saw. And moving around the backside of the table saw is the sled rack and all the various sleds that I use. And of course the table saw and the right side storage, which I opened all the drawers and stuff in last year's, and that has not changed at all. And of course running the MG36, the Harvey miter gauge, which I just absolutely love. What a fantastic miter gauge. And on to the milling stuff. I do have the Powermatic 15-inch planer with a helical head in it. And I did put the table on the top. And then I have the hammer A341, which is just a joiner, but it is a 16-inch joiner. And I have the extension beds as well. I'm fortunate to have the size in this shop that I have, and I can leave those beds on pretty much all the time. The shop is overall about 30 by 35. Well, there you go, guys. That's a trip around the shop. I'm sure that your eagle eyes will spot something that I didn't cover, and like I said, feel free, hit me with the questions. I answer them all. Hopefully everybody is off to a great 2023, and I hope to have at least as productive a year in here as I did in 2022, but we shall see. So until next time, guys, take care.